Nancy. Back for another reading of This Canoe is Heavy by Grandmother Gentle Bear. Tea is ready. The spirits have left a great energy, and nature filled in the gaps with abundance. We feel welcome and begin to find a sturdy cabin or two to stay in while we are here. The cabin my father built looked aged but sturdy, and the roof was still intact. A tree had fallen next to the cabin, and we will cut it up for firewood. It feels like coming home, and we soon have the dust cleaned out and the bunks set up. This will be home for the next few days and nights. The boys are cooking fish on the outside fire, and I just lit the fireplace inside. Warm up the flue and warm up the cabin. We sat by the fire for a while and talked about the days ahead. Hunting grouse, setting snares for rabbits, fishing, foraging, just as we always do and always have. The same things need to be done no matter where you are. It's daily life. For a few days we will live a small village life. Population 4. As the night fell dark, we went into the cabin. It was dark and warm, with only the light of the fireplace. The boys were eager for a story from a time long ago, when this village was alive and thriving. Children were born all throughout the year. The hunters were experienced and their aim was true. Meat for all in the village. Fishermen that went out on kayaks and risked their lives to bring in the catch. Foragers that disturbed bears and sang their way out. A risky life with great rewards. Everyone took care of each other, just as we still do. The boys were a bit surprised that life was much the same when I was a child, but now they understood how ways are passed down and sometimes remain the same for a long time. Not long after we fall asleep, the drumming begins. We slowly wake up and look at each other. I stoke the fire, and we look through a crack in the door. We see the fireplace outside, and the flames are high. Slightly cracking the door open, we all have a peek outside. Spirits are sitting around the fire and singing to the drumming. It fades in and out like a fog, but the drum keeps rhythm and still keeps drumming. It's our ancestors, nothing to be afraid of. We've brought life back to the village, and they have a reason to show themselves to us. That way we know and remember. The boys sit by the door for a bit, Then we all go back to our bunks. The drumming went on for most of the night and lulled us to sleep. When the morning came, we were all rested, rejuvenated, and excited to be living in our own stories on the trail. Hot coals still smoking and the boys eager to catch a few trout for the first meal. I've wandered off to go and peel a bit of birch bark of the trees for baskets. So many herbs unpicked for ages. I'll bring some back for the elders. Plenty of garlic, onions, thistle, burdock, golden seal, just to mention a few, and sweet grasses and sage. I'll roll those into bundles and bring them back to the village for gifts, and a few small birch bark canoes for the little ones. A little further into the forest, and all those memories come flooding back. To the little child who loves nature and her village and its people. They are all gone now. Just me and those memories. That's why I tell the young ones a story every chance I get. And they listen with enthusiasm, and they tell the stories with great care and details, and retell them. They start with great-grandfather's story, or great-grandmother's story. And who doesn't like a story that starts with when grandmother was young? Now these young men will return with stories about going to grandmother's ancient village. I say young men, they have earned it, not boys, young men. And long after I'm gone, they'll tell of the adventure. They will take their own paths, and some of them will be led right back here. They'll revive this beautiful village. They'll bring up children and help elders through old age and beyond. And the village will live again. We're going to stop there for today. That was a really good read. Thank you for stopping by for tea and listening to the old story. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. We'll continue reading This Canoe is Heavy tomorrow. And remember to leave a comment. Maybe you have a story to tell of your own. Like and subscribe to keep this channel going. Once in a while I'll read those stories so we can share them. And until the next reading, as always, be kind to nature and go into the forest as often as you can.